Howdy, folks. We're going to talk about Chapter 4 here, coding control statements. So we've done some basics of these if statements, where if this is true, we want this block of code to run, else, if it's not true, we want this block of code to run. We're sort of chaining these together, like if, else if, else if, else if, else if, else if. So you'd have a range of, okay, if this one's true, if not, is this one true, if not, is this one true, if not, is this one true, and on and on and on. So I'm going to make up a new project here. We'll call this one week 4. Put it with some sample code. And again, I'm going to make that default package because it's just a good habit here to have that default package. So we'll call this one week 4. And I just drag and drop it in, and notice it's going to refactor here for me. It means it's going to add that line that says package week 4. Our package names are all lowercase, no spaces or anything here. Kind of our convention for that. And we'll expand this out, make sure it's good. This git is not installed. You can just ignore that. I think we can even just turn that off, right? I don't want that one. No pop-up. There we go. Just say no pop-up. I think that'll turn that off. Oh, it just gets annoying after a little while here. So we're going to look at a couple ways here to make these a little bit more able to be specific about certain things here. So maybe not a common example. An example we're going to look at here is determining car insurance rates. That's a pretty common one here. And generally what happens is younger drivers, especially new drivers, are more likely to cause accidents, so their rates are higher. And then young men are even more likely to get into accidents because they just haven't fully developed their brains and they're dumb, and they are even more likely to get into accidents than young females. So if we can find out those two pieces of information, how old you are, and if you're male or female, we can figure out how much we need to charge you for car insurance, according to the risk that you present here to crashing your car. So if I'm going to use some keyboard input, I'm going to make one of these scanner things. Say scanner keyboard equals a new scanner, given system.in. And here, again, keyboard is just my variable name for it. It can be anything here. The book uses something else, and I just don't like it. I don't know. I've gotten used to using keyboard because it's the keyboard input. So we'll say, okay, please enter your age. Enter your age. And then that's probably an integer here, so I'll use an int for age. Then it'll be integer.parseInt, right? We're converting here, whatever we get back from the keyboard next line. You type something in, we'll turn it into an integer, we have your age. And then we'll ask them, are you male or female? And I'm going to put a prompt in here, like M or F here, right? Like to suggest what they should enter here. It's tricky sometimes to get certain kind of inputs here, but hopefully they'll give me an M or an F here, and we'll figure that one out here. So that'll just be a string here. That'll be gender is going to be keyboard.nextline. Now, if they give me something that's not M or an F, right now we don't have a way to fix it. We'll get to that in a little while. Don't worry too much about it here. So we'll figure that out. So now what we want to do is figure out, okay, which one of these cases is true. So we're going to say, okay, so if your age is less than 25, now to combine these expressions, say if this is true and this is true, we use an operator known as the AND operator. We say if this and this. So if age is less than 25 and gender.equals ignoring case here in M here, then what do we want to say? Okay, so your insurance rate is $250 a month. I don't know. I'm just making up some numbers here. I don't actually know for sure. So age less than 25, gender equal to male. Sure. Else if age is less than 25, and then really it's just anything else here, right? This is all we need, so we don't need to even compare it to anything else. So if it's not M for male, then whatever, you're not getting that super high rate here. We'll say you only have to pay maybe $200 a month here. Again, making up the numbers. I have no idea if they're right or not. Then, really just it's an else case, right? If you're not less than 25, you have to be greater than 25. Then we'll charge you, we'll just say $150 a month for insurance. Again, totally made up here. Depends on what kind of insurance you're even getting here. So, but we're able to combine these statements here with an AND. So this is the AND operator. So a couple things with ANDs here. So I always like to tell the McDonald's story because this helps me remember how ANDs work. So remember, if for an AND to be true, right, if you say, do you want a burger and fries? You have to want the burger and you have to want the fries. So if you go to McDonald's and you order a quarter pounder with cheese, which they tell me is cooked fresh to order, it's not like, sat around in one of those warming trays for who knows how long here. They'll cook it when it gets ordered. And if you know different, please don't tell me. Just let me have that illusion that it's actually cooked fresh here. But if they say, do you want a burger and fries? I say, ew, no. McDonald's fries are nasty. They're not good. There's no potato flavor to them. They're thin. It's just grease, and they're awful. So I always say no to burger and fries. But if they say, do you want a burger or fries? Well, yes. I want one of those. And then, usually they look at me funny because if you ask them, do you want a burger or fries? You usually say, yeah, I want a burger, or yeah, I want fries, or yeah, I want a burger and fries, right? You would kind of tell them what you want. But if the question is, do you want a burger or fries? The correct answer here is yes, because I want a burger. But they didn't ask me which one I wanted. They just said, do you want this or that? So again, most people, I don't actually do that to people at fast food restaurants. Don't think I'm some kind of monster here. But I like to hassle people sometimes. So for ands here, so you can have a true and true is true. Right? If both sides are true, the whole thing is true. So and is the double ampersand sign here. If it's true and false, the whole thing is false. Or if it's false and true, again, the whole thing is false. And again, if neither of them here is false, I think you would guess here that the whole thing is false as well. So the only time if you're anding together that you'll get a true is if both sides are true. You have to want both things, burger and fries, to make the whole thing true. Otherwise, it's a big nope here. Okay, that's for ands. Then you also have a case for ors. You can say this thing or this thing. Is this one true or this one's true? So a common case for this here is going to be offering someone a loan. Excuse me. So we're going to offer someone a loan here. So we'll ask them two questions. First, we'll ask for their annual income, and we'll ask whether or not they have any issues on their credit history or bankruptcies or whatever other nonsense banks like to disqualify us for. So we'll say, okay, please enter your annual income here, and then we'll get probably an integer. I don't think people will give you pennies if they're talking about annual income, so this will be annual income. It's going to be integer.parseInt of the keyboard.next line. Again, I'm not typing all that. As soon as it gives me a couple letters here, if I hit tab, it auto-completes. So don't feel like I'm typing super crazy fast here. Does annual have two? It probably has two, right? It's not one? No, yeah, okay, it is two. Annual income. And then we also want to know here, do we have any previous bankruptcies? Do we have any previous bankruptcies? And again, I'm going to say like Y or N here. Bankruptcies? Oh, that's not spelled right. What is it? Bankruptcies. Oh, actually, yeah, bank with this K. Yeah, I don't know how to spell. All right, any previous bankruptcies? So that'll be a string for previous bankruptcies. Bankruptcies is just keyboard.next line here. Okay, and stingring is red here. And it says, it doesn't know what this thing is. Right? There's not even a suggestion here. So I just misspelled string here. We can fix that one. Okay, so we've got annual income, we've got previous bankruptcies. So the first thing we want to check here, right, is how much their annual income is. Because if you make enough money, we're just not going to care here. Or maybe we do care, right? If you have previous bankruptcies, I don't know, that's not great here. So we'll say, how about if annual income is greater than, and you can use this underscore for the digit separator. I love this one here. So if your annual income is more than $1 million, and then for ors here, ors are super weird. For some reason, an or is pipe. That's the shift backslash. That's an or. That's the shift backslash key above the enter key. That's a pipe. So with an or, it's true or true, and you'd guess the whole thing is true, right? If this or that, the whole thing's true. If true or false, the whole thing is true, because one or the other has to be true. False or true, the whole thing is true. The only time you get a false then with an or is if they're both false. So do you want a burger or fries? If you hate their fries and you're vegetarian, you're not going to say yes. Right? The whole thing is no. It's a big nope, big false here. Don't want a burger or fries. Okay? So we'll say, okay, if your annual income is greater than $1 million, or your annual income is let's see, annual income is greater than, we'll say, how about 50,000, and previous bankruptcies equals ignoring case and N. So let's combine some of these things together here. So we'll say if this is true, oh, this one needs to be down the line here, or this one is true. So, and I'm going to force some order of operations here because I want to make sure that this one happens first here. So we're going to say, oh, that's really long there, sorry. So your annual income is greater than 50,000 and you don't have any previous bankruptcies. If both of these are true, then it could be true. If this one is true, we don't care about this one. As long as this one's true, the whole thing's going to run, right? So if you make enough money, the bank won't care. Or if you make a decent amount of money and you don't have any previous bankruptcies, sure, you'll get a loan from the bank. Say, here's your loan. If neither of those, right, where's my if, oh goodness, curly brace there. Okay, I had the curly brace in the wrong spot. If neither of those is true, right, if this is false and this is false, right, if both sides are false and or the whole thing is false, then no loan for you. Okay, so using an or here and an and, which is kind of fun. But with an or, if either side is true, then the whole thing will be true for us, which is really fun. And then the last option here as a Boolean or a logical operator, which logical operators work with Boolean. So logical operators are combining trues and falses here, or working with trues and falses. You also have a not here. So you have a not, which is the exclamation mark here. So not true is false, and not false is true, right? Not is the opposite here. So what we could do here then, we could say, now this one's kind of fun. We can use this in a way, we'll kind of combine this one here. So we've looked at a while loop that just runs over and over and over and over again as long as something is true. So we'll say, hey, do you want to play again? And I'll suggest a Y or an N here. And then I'll have a string for play again here. And I'm going to have that be equal to the keyboard.nextLine here. And we'll say while play again dot equals ignoring case a no. And then we're going to put a not here. We're going to say, well, it does not equal a no. Then let's keep on going. So what I want to do, I'm actually going to move this, let's see. It's okay. That's okay. We'll prompt them again here. I'm just going to copy paste inside. Now it lights up red here and it says play again. It's already defined in the scope. I've already told Java I have a variable for play again. So I'm just going to, don't need to tell it it's a string. I just say, okay, change the value, please. So anything other than an N is false, and not false is true, and my while loop runs. So this is saying while play again is not equal to N, right? Not equal to N here. So anything other than an N in this loop will run. So it doesn't even have to be a Y, as long as it's not an N. Here, this thing will keep on running here. All right, so the not operators, that's pretty common here. As well. So the logical operators then, and we use these inside of our expression then to get some more advanced logic here. We get ands, we get ors, and we get nots. All right, folks, see you in the next video.